Hello guys, welcome back to the Sportsman, and we're going to preview the first game of the Championship season, Birmingham City versus Ipswich Town. What a blockbuster this could be. Luckily enough, we've got Benjamin Bloom, an Ipswich fan here. Ben, this is as tough as it comes, isn't it, for Ipswich first game?
It's the one fixture you did not want. And in the very, very leaky release of the fixture list, we kind of thought this one might be coming, and you get a Birmingham side with a lot of momentum. And I always like this game, the Friday night, Premier League hasn't started, TV ratings through the roof, everyone's watching, and it doesn't smell good if you're the away team, you know. It's everything to lose for Ipswich, isn't it? If they win at Birmingham, everyone says, relegated team, they've got a better squad, blah, 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 should have won anyway. If they don't, here come Birmingham, Ipswich are going down, you know, it's something. You could have given me, I don't know, pick a middle of the Preston at home. That would have been nice. But no, it's a great one for the neutral. I'm slightly concerned. And I do wonder whether there's a handshake between Kieran McKenna and Chris Davis at the end of the game, and it's, I'll see you in the running.
Absolutely. I mean, we're in a situation, Conor, where these could be potentially even the top two come May. That's how good we could expect Birmingham to be this season. Is that how you see it heading into this opening fixture?
Yeah, it's an absolute blockbuster. I think whichever team wins, if there are a winner and it's not a draw, they might turn around at the end of the season and say that was our best win. I think Ipswich will go there. I was going to say full of confidence, but like Ben was mentioning on a previous show that we're doing, you kind of going into it, and it's not been a great campaign. I know it's at a completely different level, obviously with the Premier League, but Ipswich haven't got an abundance of wins under the belt. Birmingham come into it with
111, Conor.
111 points, not 12, 113, 110 is 111. But momentum's massive in football. Is there that much between the two starting 11s? I think so. I think there is. I think Ipswich have a clear better starting 11 when it comes to pedigree, calibre, quality, etc. But Birmingham, the St Andrews crowd behind them, I'm sure Wagner and Brady, they're all going to be there, and it's going to be a real event. And so, I think, look, you'd probably take a draw right now, wouldn't you? I think so. And I think probably Birmingham fans would definitely take that as well.
Hopefully there'll be a lot of goals in this one. It's one of those scenarios that you often get on the opening day, Dave. Team coming up, 111 points, as we've mentioned, absolutely
big point
flying.
total.
Ipswich coming down, losing a couple of key players in Liam Delap and co. But it's an absolute blockbuster, as Conor said.
It is going to be a really good game of football, but I do think Ipswich could even play it a little bit pragmatically in a sense and go away from kind of trying to dominate the ball here. You know, you look at their possession stats back in the Championship, it was around 51%, so they were at times very comfortable at allowing teams to have the ball in certain areas and being a little bit more direct, you know, hitting the striker early, getting the ball to the wingers nice and fast, and then breaking into the final third in that way. I do think it'll be a game that really swings in terms of momentum. I think we'll see both teams on top in certain areas, but just looking at the quality of the Ipswich squad, it's very much built to win the Championship. So many good players in that. Even, you know, looking at Sammy Smodics as a player that scored 27 goals last time he had a full season in the Championship, that is a threat from Birmingham. That's a step up than what they were dealing with last season. That's a step up than they've dealt with in a few years in terms of quality. You've thrown in, a Philogene in there as well. Very good 1v1. Leif Davis as well will be back in the assist. He'll be back in that high position that we all expected him to take in the Premier League. It wasn't quite there. Set pieces as well. Ipswich better at this level in that, category, because the amount of research and work Premier League sides do now. So I expect it to be a game, but I still would expect Ipswich to win this.
I've got Jack Clarke down as my player of the season. Is he a key man for you heading into this fixture, Ben?
It's the one trick pony, but can you stop him cutting in and whipping it in to the far corner? He struggled in the Premier League, as did most of the Ipswich players, but particularly Ipswich went through a swathe of getting red cards, and Jack Clarke would then be substituted off every game. So his confidence is not quite there. And we were making the point when we were talking about the top scorer conversation. At Sunderland, the whole tactic was get the ball on this side, quickly switch the play and get Jack Clarke 1v1 with someone. It's not going to be he's going to get less of the ball at Ipswich than he did at Sunderland, isn't it? So
on the opening day, though, if what Dave's saying is right, and it's almost like Ipswich potentially let Birmingham have the ball a little bit, and they're maybe a mid to low block in it, that transition could be absolutely key. Getting straight out to Jack Clarke and Philogene on either side, potentially.
And you'd be happy with those players receiving the ball, wouldn't you? It's a tough one to call, and I do think the momentum's a big thing, and I do think the timing is not great for Ipswich.
And we've talked about him. He hasn't signed at the time of recording, but Hayden Hackney looks like he will make the move to Ipswich Town. How important could he be for Ipswich and in this game?
Massive. You look at his passing stats last season, the progressive numbers were some of the best in Europe for a player of his age. He's got that real quality to roam around and get on the ball and play the passes that I don't think Ipswich have really had in that area. You know, deep in midfield, it was more about recycling the ball. I think now they've got a player that can truly penetrate, truly get into the final third, and almost create and shoot. Obviously, from range, he's a massive threat as well.
Calvin Phillips was supposed to do.
Yeah, obviously Calvin Phillips fell off a massive cliff when he joined Manchester City, and Hayden Hackney's going the right way. He's joining a club going in the right direction if he does sign. And also Matasuwa as well, that was brought in from France, another top quality midfielder, very good at winning the ball back. So arguably you'd say that midfield is better than maybe what Ipswich had last season in terms of potential of what it could be. So I do like that Hackney in this game is going to be massively important in using his long-range passing. I think one of the underrated sides as well, his ability to carry, ranks like in the top 5% of midfielders for progressive carries. He's also very good off the ball. He presses well really high. There's so much of his game that I like, and I think that this is a game, if he were to sign, it could be a little bit too soon for him in terms of he's not really trained with the players, but he's a player that knows the Championship, that's played well in the Championship, that's dominated midfields before in the competition.
Absolutely. Birmingham signing Kyogo this summer as well, Connor. Do you see them working together? I mean, James Stansfield and Kyogo together, or do you think it'll be one or the other? How do you see that working for Birmingham in terms of going forward?
Yeah, potentially. I think it might be one or the other, though. I think they're probably going to go to a 4-2-3-1, although with Damari Gray coming in, they could go to a 4-3-3 as well. I think we mentioned earlier on that Chris Davis is pretty tactically fluid when it comes to, he's going to have to be in the Championship, but it feels like the standard formation now, doesn't it? So when it comes to the 4-2-3-1, but I think that works. He could even work off the left Stansfield if you want him in there with Kyogo up top. But yeah, going back to just the original conversation, I think what you have to sit back and realise when it comes to Ipswich is not just the Championship quality players, but also the proven at Championship level as well. You know, you look at your Jacob Greaves, you look at your O'Shea, you look at your Leif Davis, you know, you look at going forward, Jack Clark, Philogene. These are players that are proven for. Sammy Schmodix. It's going to be a really tough task, in my opinion, for Birmingham on that opening day to stem the flow. But I think both teams would take a point. But I think Birmingham, as we've mentioned several times, is going to be really strong this season.
Even Palmer coming in goal for Ipswich is a player who's not really been mentioned at all, but he was one of the best in the Championship at West Brom, made the move to Ipswich. How's he got on?
It's just been a bit of a disaster position for Ipswich since the Gladkey's contract kind of ran down, and they went all in on Muric and just didn't work. And Palmer was kind of just brought in to save the day. Just save the difficult shots and kick it if you need to kick it. So it's going to be different than last time, where Gladkey was 30 yards up the pitch trapping the ball and basically sweeper keeper playmaker type situation. But you said about Davis and McKenna. I think McKenna, he adapted during the Championship season. You're right to say that in those high pressure games in the run-in, they were okay to kick it in the channels and look, just nick these games if you can. But yeah, I think Palmer plays the season, but it's something that's kind of under review. They're scrambling, chasing their tail on the goalkeeper position, basically.
Does Harry Clark start?
I don't know.
It's an interesting position, isn't it?
Yeah, you're talking about proven players that have been there, done it, but Axel Tuanzebe took his place and he's now gone, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a right back come in before the transfer window ends.
Absolutely right. Last thing we need to do is do our score predictions for Birmingham versus Ipswich. Dave, I'll come to you first, please.
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be expansive. It's going to be a great game. I think with Birmingham going forward, William Williamson. Very difficult to say that name. I watched Stockport play Birmingham. I was very impressed with his technical ability. He's someone that could do a job, and I think that front line of Stansfield and Kyogo could be one left, one striker, one attacking midfield, one striker. I think that's going to be super interesting. But I expect Kyogo maybe through the middle in this game, playing a little bit more of a link player in that zone and testing Ipswich out in different areas. But I do think there'll be goals from both sides. Obviously, Ipswich have got that attacking quality, and they will score loads in the Championship. This is going to be the start of that.
You've taken my prediction out of my mouth. I was going to say 2-2. I think I'll massively agree.
Change it now.
There's got to be goals. I'll go 3-2 Ipswich because It's going to be a great game, isn't it? I mean, we can't sit down on this being 0-0, right, Connor?
Nah, don't think it'll be a 0-0. I think Tommy Doyle, I think Awata in the midfield, they've got to be aggressive, really, really aggressive when it comes to Ipswich, and I think that'll be the message from Davis as well. Yeah, it's almost like don't play the occasion, but I think Birmingham have kind of got to do it. Ipswich have got to take the instruction not to play the occasion, maybe be a little bit more pragmatic in game. But basic answer, 1-1. 1-1. I think Birmingham will take the lead, and I think Ipswich will get stronger throughout the game.
I think it's a draw. Both teams would be quite happy with.
I'll take the 1-1 as well. It feels like there's obviously zero evidence in terms of we haven't played a game yet, and there's so many intangibles that you've all kind of mentioned that it will just become play the occasion, and you've got two rather clever managers who won't fall over themselves trying to outmaneuver the other, and it might be a case of at minute 70, okay, you scored, we scored, see you in whenever the return fixture is.
See you potentially at the top of the table in the promotion race. We don't know. Get your score predictions in the comments down below, please. And we'll be back on Monday for the Sportsman Untitled.